Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm back again with another video. Today we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of doing a digital interview. I know I struggle a lot with digital interviews, and probably it's not only me. Like most of the time I don't even make it past the interview, the digital interview, but I appreciate the experience because every time I do it, it gets better and better and better. So I'm just here to share some little bit of tricks and do's and don'ts of doing your digital interview, and I hope that you like this video. Let's just get into it. The first do is that test your technology before you do the digital interview. They always tell you this before you do your digital interview, to test your camera, test your mic, make sure that you have enough lighting coming through. Your internet connection must be top notch, because one thing about digital interview, you have only one attempt. So if you run out of data or your internet connection just lose connection along the interview, it's just gonna mess up your digital interview, and you don't want that. So you have to make sure that you check your internet connection, you make sure that you test your mic, use the practice questions that they do to test if your mic is very well, test your camera, make sure that there is enough lighting coming through, and yeah, the audio is clear. So avoid last minute thingies. Make sure that everything on the technical aspect is clear before you do your digital interview. Your don't is that don't forget to check your environment. Make sure that where you're recording, there isn't a lot of distractions, like there isn't a lot of noise coming through, like your background is very clear. People can be able to see you without being distracted. Make sure your environment, there won't be anyone coming in through a door while you're still doing your interview, because that's just gonna throw you off, right? So make sure the environment that you're recording, it's very clean, there are no distraction, and it's very right. Do you look at your camera? Don't look at your screen like I am doing right now. Right now I'm looking at my camera screen. You have to look through the camera, whether you're looking at your laptop camera or you see how I'm looking at my camera right now. You have to look at your camera like that. Don't look at your screen. Look at your camera. Make sure that you're standing like you are comfortable. You're standing comfortably, like you're ready for anything. And then just speak. While you're speaking, you look into your camera. You don't look at your screen. You see the difference? This is me looking at my screen, and this is me looking at my camera, right? So don't look at your screen, but instead look at your. Don't is that you don't want to overload on your personal things in the background. Like I said, that you have to be aware of your environment. So in the background, there shouldn't be any, just find, we're not saying find, we know that sometimes it's hard to find a clear background, but just make sure that your background doesn't have a lot of things just going on. Like you don't have like it's fine to record where maybe there's like an art in the back or whatever, but just make sure that there's nothing that's gonna be distracting people when watching your video at the background. That's one thing that I always say don't do. Make sure that your background is very clear, it's very neutral, it's tidy, it ensures professionally, it makes you look professional, right? So you just want to make sure. Another do that I advise you to do is that you're gonna need to dress properly, professionally. You're gonna need to dress like you're going on an interview. Even though you know that it's just an interview where you're alone, but someone is gonna look at it. So you need to dress like you're going on an interview. You have to maybe put in a shirt or whatever, something that makes you look professional, so that when someone is watching, they feel like you understood that this is an interview, right? You appear professional, you look very clear. Imagine if your camera is very clear, your recording is very clear, your environment is clear, and then you're just dressed professionally. That's just gonna give you That's just gonna give that person that's watching the video the thing, you would know this girl is very professional. I like her. I like the fact that she made sure that before everything else she prepared, right? So look and dress professionally so that someone who's watching this knows that you prepared for this and you're aware that it's an interview, right? Someone is gonna watch it. Remember, just because you're not interviewing with someone doesn't mean they're not gonna watch it. They are gonna watch it, and you don't want the person who's watching to be like, nah, why is she dressed like she's going on a restaurant, like just going next door, whatever, right? Another don't is that don't be distracted by your devices or your laptop or whatever. So what you need to do is that before doing that interview, you have to make sure that your phone is on silent. You have to make sure that you put it on disturb mode. You don't want to find that you don't want to be distracted, right? So you don't want to be doing your video and then a message of WhatsApp pops up in there. That's just going to throw you off. You don't want messages being popping off or your call disturbing you. So you have to make sure that you put that phone on disturb mode. You don't want any distraction during your interview. Trust me, that interview is just so much. So you don't want to mess it up by having a lot going on. You're distracted by unnecessary things or people calling you or notifications of WhatsApp, Facebook or emails. You want to make sure that you are fully there, right? So put that phone on disturb mode and silent. You'll thank me later. Another thing is that you want to have a copy of your resume, so that you can just discuss, like you can see key points, right? I don't know. You can put it in front of your screen or whatever so that you can just look at it sometimes when you're forgetting some things that you're speaking about, like so that you can look at the skills that you have and incorporate them in your interview, right? That's the do that you need to have. Is that you need to make sure that you are speaking at a clear and normal pace. You don't want to be fast. You also don't want to be slow. Remember that the interview has a timer. So you have to make sure that whatever that you're going to say is between that time frame. If they say it's 3 minutes, you have to make sure that you speak normally so that people can hear you, but also aware that that is going to have to take 3 minutes. So you don't want it to cut you off, but you also don't want to be too fast because people might not even hear what you're saying. So be aware of your speaking pace, because it might also affect like everything that you are doing, right? Because there's a specific timer for everything. So I want you to check on that. Also, another don't, that is the last don't, is that you're gonna make sure that you don't let technical issues like just throw you off, right? So if your audio cuts off, or if your internet connection interrupts you or whatever, like don't let that thing like throw you off or whatever. Sometimes when there is a technical issue, like your technical issues, like your internet maybe just lose connection, you can always like reload the screen. Like don't panic, reload the screen and check if it can take you to that particular question. If it doesn't, there's always an option for support where you can always like email the support team and then they help you right away. So please always be prepared for such things. And yeah, digital interviews on its own, like they are very difficult. We are all just trying to learn to make them a little bit more easier and at ease. But I hope this video really helped you navigate the interview process and just make you feel at ease and a little bit more prepared, right? So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys so much. Stay blessed.